How's it going, everyone? It's Sean here, and today I'm back to review the Nike Air Zoom Generation Quick Strike in the white, black, and varsity crimson colorway. These released on Saturday, August 26th for a US retail price of $175 and a Canadian retail price of $235. The official colorway, as I mentioned, is white, black, and varsity crimson. For those of you who aren't aware, the Zoom Generation is the first signature sneaker for LeBron James that he debuted during his rookie season back in 2003.
Let us read from the playbook, the King James playbook, and Basketball Chosen One asked the soul of the game for court vision, and it was granted to him. Can I get a layup? The Chosen One didn't ask for hops. Coach Reverend, right? He didn't ask for hands. Why did the Chosen One ask for court vision? I'm gonna tell you why. Just listen. He wanted glory for the team. I feel the soul of the game coming over me.
So this, more commonly known as just the white and black colorway, was actually debuted by LeBron during his first ever NBA game on October 29th, 2003 against the Sacramento Kings.
Here in the capital city of California, and there is the man of the hour in probably the most anticipated debut of any first-year athlete in any sport. LeBron James will put it on the floor for the first time in a regular season game tonight. LeBron James' first shot is good. It didn't take him too long, fellas.
And here he's just going to overpower, get a nice little pick, and make the shot.
LeBron James brings it down 3-on-2. There's the dish to Boozer. Here he comes the other way. There's your first James jam of his career.
He's not disappointing me, I'm telling you right now. Troll.
LeBron James leads it for Mim. Got it. And there has been no disappointment in LeBron James.
And that's what he's got to do more often, because with his size and ability and his leaping ability, he can get in that paint and just jump over people. Great move by him.
Here comes Cleveland, chance to make it a one-point game. They do. Whoa. Little dipsy-do for LeBron James. When you go over 20 points and 9 assists, it doesn't happen very often in your first NBA game. Big O, Guy Rodgers, Zeke, and now LeBron James. 25 points, 9 assists in the ball game, and 6 rebounds and 4 steals to go along with it.
So while the white and red color is more commonly known and more officially known as the first games, this one was actually the very first shoe that he wore in an official NBA game. The white and reds were actually worn during his first NBA home game, which took place against the Denver Nuggets on November 5th, 2003. Before I go into detail about this shoe, I just wanted to give you guys some background information about the Zoom Generation, the inspiration behind the design, and its history. The Zoom Generation was designed by Aaron Cooper, Tinker Hatfield, and Eric Afar. This was created back in 2003, and the design behind this is inspired by a few different things. So the upper of the shoe is inspired by military special forces boots, as LeBron is known to be a modern-day soldier on the court. It's also inspired by the H2 Hummer after LeBron received that controversial gift from his mom back in high school. So taking a closer look at these shoes, the upper is done in a combination of leather and ballistic mesh. Along this quarter and toe box area of the shoe, this is constructed using a flat white leather. And I do have to say that the quality of this leather, while it's not the best that I've seen, it is pretty decent overall. On the toe box specifically, there are these perforations along with this Nike logo in gray. Wrapping around the toe box is a much more stiff and firm tumbled leather, which acts to reinforce the toe box. And underneath this is this gray plastic, which also wraps around the length of the toe box. And this, in my opinion, draws inspiration from the bumper of the Hummer. Found on the midfoot and wrapping around the top portion of this back heel, this is comprised of a ballistic mesh done in black. And on the lateral side, we have this white Nike swoosh that has a glossy appearance to it, and it's outlined in a varsity crimson color. On the medial side, we have that same ballistic mesh in black, but instead of the Nike swoosh, what we have here is this netting that sort of gives off a militaristic vibe. On the back heel, sandwiching this ballistic mesh, is this perforated white leather, and then below this is the TPU heel canter. So this is done in a matte black finish, but it also features this varsity crimson detailing, which gives off this mirror-like effect. So over time and with use, this varsity crimson overlay is supposed to flake off. On both the lateral side and the medial side, there are only 4 visible eyelets, and this is done in the same gray plastic material that's found along the edge of the toe box. The laces on these are an oval style lace done in white, and then underneath this is the tongue. So the tongue is done in a combination of 2 materials. So the base layer right here, this is done in almost like a fabric-like material, and then the very top is done in the same tumbled leather that's found around this toe box, and it features the LeBron logo in white, along with LeBron's name encased within this semi-translucent red plastic. Note that the font used to spell out LeBron's name was inspired by the same sort of font that's used to spell out Hummer found on the vehicles. The inner liner of the shoe, along with this base layer of the tongue, this is done in Nike's Sphere technology. So what this is basically this thin padded layer found between the interior and the exterior of the shoe that's done in a circular dimple pattern. So this pattern, because it's not directly found on the interior layer, it kind of acts as a buffer between the inside and the outside, and it helps to wick away the moisture and increase the ventilation of the shoe. So if you take a closer look, it's not as obvious in camera, but you can kind of see that there's these small indentations and dimple-like patterns running along the inside of the shoe. Taking a look at the insole, this is done primarily in black, and it features LeBron's name spelled out in silver lettering on the heel. These Zoom Generations feature this Phylon foam midsole done in white, and it has this Nike branding on the lateral side. Flipping shoe to the bottom, we have this outsole that's done in a combination of white and varsity crimson. So this is done in a very thick herringbone traction pattern found from the top of the toe to the bottom of the heel. And then found in the middle, we have this carbon fiber plate, which helps to add this additional springiness when you're wearing these on the court. Located underneath the forefoot is a Zoom airbag, and then underneath the heel is an encapsulated airbag. In terms of sizing, these run pretty true to size, so I'd stick with your normal Nike or Nike basketball size, which in my case is a 10.5. To give you guys a point of comparison, I also wear a 10.5 in most of my Kobe's, along with my Kyrie 2s and Kyrie 3s. Comfort-wise, these are actually surprisingly comfortable considering the fact that they're a shoe that's 14 years old. They're not going to be as flexible or as breathable as modern day sneakers that feature a Flyknit upper, but these are definitely still a very comfortable shoe that I will wear for casual use. I found that the Zoom Air on these were quite responsive straight out of the box, and they didn't require any break-in time. So now I'll give you guys a look at how these Zoom Generations look on feet. Overall, I'm very happy with this retro take on LeBron's very first Nike sneaker. This is my personal favorite colorway of the Zoom Generation line, and I'm happy overall with the materials and quality of the build of the shoe. If you are a LeBron fan, this is a must-have to own in your collection, as this is the sneaker that he wore that started off his illustrious career. Let me know in the comments down below what do you guys think of these Zoom Generations, and if you guys managed to grab a pair for yourself. If you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to give me that thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below, and give me a follow on my Instagram as well. You can find me there at SGO8. So until next time, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in my next review.